I'm content creator Sally Eslin, the founder of Empowered Clothing. I'm dedicated to empower women entrepreneurs by sharing tools, tips, and resources through leadership, mindset, and more on my show, Finding Your Way with Sally. Hey everyone, yes, it is Sally here. I'm a content creator and founder of Empowered Clothing. I share authentic and everyday issues for women over 50. And you can learn more about my fashion products and services at empoweredclothing.com.au. So today, a beautiful topic and a beautiful guest, why you should rest during menopause. And we'll be chatting with founder and lead practitioner, Amy Livingstone. So before we get into bringing Amy up, rest, it's something super duper duper important. It's so good for our soul. And I find a couple of the products that I have really help me rest. I don't know if you're into energy and aura clearing sprays, but they are so very powerful. And this one up here I've got on the screen is Deep Peace. Really, really helpful to work with your energy, your vibration, to just calm it down. And also I've got these beautiful crystal candles. They're chakra crystal candles, and they have beautiful Australian essences in them. And just burning the candles and just allowing the essence to just soothe your soul. So that's a couple of accessories that I've got that you can find out about later on. And so without further ado, let me just bring up Amy. And as I'm doing that, I might just introduce her with her little bio. So with lived experience in mental wellbeing and a background in trauma-informed practice, Amy supports clients with recovery, rehab, and performance health. She is completing craniosacral studies to complement her modalities of HeartMath coaching. Oh, I love HeartMath. Myofascial release, yoga, meditation, quantum healing, right up my alley, and sound therapy. So as a senior yoga meditation teacher with over 1,000 hours registered training, Amy is a member of Yoga Australia and Yoga Alliance International. She is also a member of the Institute of Community Directors Australia, giving back through mentoring social business and local community organisations. What a gorgeous soul. So welcome to Finding Your Way, Amy. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Sally. It's an absolute honour to be here, and what an amazing introduction. Thank you so much for welcoming me on the show, and also great to support the community.
Oh, absolutely. We have so much in common and alignment, and I love that you're into quantum healing because everything is just faster when you work in that space, hey?
It's so magical to be able to, bring through a lot of that knowledge that perhaps we haven't accessed as widely as we can now, and it's just such an honour to serve in that way.
Yeah, totally, totally. It's time, right? So today you've brought along a beautiful empowerment share. You had a personal battle with Lyme's disease, which you ignited your passion to enable positive change by combining therapeutic treatment with wellness education for optimal outcomes. Do you want to share a little bit about that?
Oh, thank you, Sally. Absolutely. It is definitely one of the golden parts of my experience here on Earth so far, contracting Lyme's disease whilst working with Aboriginal tribes in Cape York. And I didn't realize it at the time, but, that getting so sick and going through that experience really helped to kind of refocus me onto the path that I'm on now. So I stepped out of the corporate kind of jungle and into the space of holistic care. And in that, I really stepped into my soul calling.
Absolutely. I'd like, it takes sometimes it's these experiences or these challenges that just ignite that passion and fire within us to go down. This is the path I want to follow down. So that actually leads in really well to your expert tip that's saying collective healing begins with each one of us caring for all levels of our well-being. Now that's something you and I are most passionate about. Do you want to share a little bit more about that, expand on that?
Absolutely. Look, I think this tip for me really comes out of the inspiration of founding Manava and Manava Wellness. And that came out of the experience of the Lyme's disease and, going through the medical framework and experiencing the availability of the specialists and the insights that were there. But then realizing in order to truly heal, I needed to actually give my body the environment it required for healing. And that was at all layers of my mind, body, and spirit. So that took me down the pathway of connecting back to my cultural roots and also to exploring other modalities like HeartMath, like craniosacral, and so myofascial release, and the spiritual work, the quantum healing, that beautiful embodiment of going through our multidimensional self and understanding where can we step into a highest form of healing now. So when I say collective healing starts with us, it really does, because we're all connected. And that quantum entanglement, that magical quantum essence that we all share, once one of us heals, that ripple effect affects the collective as well.
Yeah, well, we're all united as one. So, do you want to talk a little bit, because our topic today is about why you should rest during menopause, and that's something that you're very passionate about with the people that you work with.
Yeah, thanks, Sally. So, to your point, a lot of women come to me in my practice, and Manava itself actually means, at the core essence of that beautiful Polynesian word, it means rest, pause, it means to breathe, it means life
Mm,
essence or chi, and it also means the deepest form of sharing connection with others. So when we are looking at resting for menopause, or resting for health, even more importantly,
mm,
it's all about understanding how we support ourselves for
mm.
transition. And menopause is such a major transition for women in life, just like
Yes.
motherhood, just like, the teenage years. In fact, it's actually more potent hormonally than the teenage years for women. So what happens in the brain and cognitively is just, huge. And the neurological changes that happen are huge.
Mm,
So allowing the body to recover and repair and rejuvenate through adequate rest and sleep is linked to our immune function, our cardiovascular health, our weight management, and
mm,
the ability to access that hormonal balance. So when we are really caring for ourselves at that level, and we're allowing rest in our lives, then we can start to experience the potential spiritual opportunity that comes with transition. And
mm.
that means the processing, the healing work, the ancestral and trauma work, which you and I have touched on before.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. So I put up on the screen Rest for Menopause and Health. So this is a 4-week sort of journey that you're taking people through. Do you want to speak to that a little bit more?
Yeah, thank you so much. Look, it's an absolute passion of mine, because I'm 47 now, so I'm going through my perimenopausal transition myself,
Yeah.
and we're all at different stages of that. And for me, I think it's just a fantastic opportunity to open this container to support us as women to explore this
Mm.
transition in an open dialogue, because generationally, my mother never spoke about this, and grandma definitely never spoke about it,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
So this is the opportunity to come together with like-minded women to explore and understand, how do we prioritize rest during this transitional phase,
Yep.
and so that we can navigate this whole perimenopausal journey with greater ease and improved quality of life. The science now shows, studies show, that we can be in the perimenopausal transition for 7 to 10 years. That's a
Yeah.
decade,
Yep.
right? Before we get to that tipping point where they qualify menopause as, oh yeah, your cycle stopped.
Yep.
So with this course, we're doing beautiful 4 weeks, 90 minutes each week. We're going to dive into better understanding the benefits of rest in daily life, and how we align our personal health with
Mm,
the seasonal cycles. Because obviously, as women, we're very in tune with that. And then we'll step into some of the personal strategies that we can create and apply for rest practices, so that we can enjoy that improved quality of life and that greater hormonal balance. And then we'll also open the doorway into embracing the spiritual growth of our own wisdom that
mm,
comes through this journey. And included in it, I'm going to also guide the group through deep rest practice each session to reset the nervous system, so that
mhm.
we can understand a little bit more about how to utilize and navigate this time. And of course, there'll be some tools and techniques on personal resilience for change included in that. So it's a wonderful 4-week journey, which I'm inviting all the listeners on to. There'll be links below, of course, that we'll share, Sally. So if you have any questions, you can always reach out to me on email about it as well.
Yes, and I'll put your details back up there. Look, I went through perimenopause for about 6.5 years, and
Mhm.
like you said, it's times are changing, and now we're talking about this sort of stuff. And in our parents' years or times, it was never spoken about, and it's just like this is real. Like it does affect you, and the weight and the mental stuff that goes on. It's the fluctuating hormones. It's the lack of sleep. It's the flushes. It's this and that, and it's just like it's not taboo anymore. The more that we can empower each other by having these conversations, the better. And so that is starting on June the 26th until July the 17th. And I have got the link here, but I'll also put it in the content when we post this. So yeah, love, 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 love that you're helping people out there and providing some tools and techniques to help people navigate, but also talking about it, the strength and empowerment just through conversation, like, and realizing you're not alone, that you've got other people that get you, that you're not going crazy and having all these weird sensations. That's actually part of the process, right? And just normalizing these conversations, super duper important.
Yeah, absolutely. I cannot support what you've said strongly enough. Sally, it's just so critical that as women, we understand there's so much more science available to us now and practices that we can incorporate that support the science.
Yeah,
Back in the day, it was often, and it still happens now, it was often the practice that when women started going into menopausal transition, because it wasn't recognized as a transition,
yeah,
it was like, well, you're too young to have menopause, your cycle hasn't stopped. So then we would end up on these antidepressants and other medications, which actually didn't support what was going on hormonally. And
mm,
now, like what the science is showing around eating more protein, around hormone replacement therapy, and around accessing greater nutrition, lowering stress, supporting less cortisol,
yeah.
rest practices, like this is where the science is heading. So I'm just so thankful that we're at a stage now in our generation where, as you say, we can open up about this.
Yeah.
Intergenerationally, it wasn't the case. So we have the opportunity to empower our journey now. And I'm excited to be able to offer that in the course.
Yeah, it's just so beautiful and it's so needed. So that really ties in nicely with my empowerment share that I've brought along today. Menopause and its fluctuating hormones really just adds further stress on the body, as if we're not stressed enough in this day and age. So resting does help maintain balance in the body, and particularly reducing hormones like cortisol. Cortisol, it does not become your best friend during menopause, is all I can say. It loves to hang around your midsection, and it's just stress. It just adds it on. So the more that you can rest and digest and relax the nervous system and just calm it down, the better you're going to be for it, and your body's going to thank you. Listen to your body because it's got something to say. It's like, that's so true. And I've also brought along an empowerment tip around sleep. Oh, that's one of the things that always comes up during menopause, perimenopause. It's such an important factor to help with your optimal health and well-being, particularly during menopause. So I like to always suggest good sleep hygiene and listen to sleep apps or whatever. But even just before my daughter was here and she hadn't been able to sleep, weighted blankets. I put a weighted blanket on and boom, she was out to it. Having a cool room but heavy blankets on, having it dark, dimming the lights by 9:30, not getting on tech for an hour before you go to bed, not eating late and not drinking and whatever too close to bedtime, all that sort of stuff. It helps with our sleep, anything that can support sleep, because as we know, when you don't get sleep, you're like a monster, and it's the worst form of torture. It totally is. So yeah, so whoops, I've just dropped it all. So today I thought we'd pull a card from the inspiration deck. I like to do a Bling Angel card reading each time, so let's see what
Love it.
message we've got coming up today. So they just gain some clarity, insight and direction around where you're going in life. So let's just shuffle away
Mm.
and let's see which card falls out today, Amy. Woohoo! So I
Woohoo.
encourage everyone to reach out to Amy. Such a top chick, full of wisdom. And isn't it funny how, well, it's not funny, but how certain experiences in life can really shape and form our direction and path. And
Yes.
what you're doing, fully support chicks reach out to you going through perimenopause or menopause, and realizing you're not alone, and there's so many tools and tips around there to support you. So this is the card that I've pulled today. It says, never let the things you're looking for make you forget the things you have. Oh my gosh, what does that mean to
Oh,
you, Amy?
beautiful. Oh, look, that's just such a beautiful reminder to appreciate the moments, that we flow through, all the big things and the small things. They're
Yeah.
all so special. And I've recently, to, I guess, navigate all those neurological changes that are happening throughout this perimenopausal transition, I've
Yeah.
recently gone to a bit of a new structure with my days where at the beginning of the day, I write down 3 gratitude points. I write down 3 goals that are gonna make me feel the day has been a success for me.
Yeah.
And then I also commit to 1 grounding activity, 1 movement activity, and I monitor my nutrition and water.
I love that, that
So
mind, body, and soul all in one
yeah,
package. Love
absolutely.
that. Love
And I
that.
really feel like I'm winning when I've got that, like, yep, I'm doing that every morning and I know where I'm at.
So beautiful. Thank you so much for that share. And thank you so much for coming on to Finding Your Way. So it's been such a pleasure to chat with you again. As I said, I encourage everybody to reach out, Rest for Menopause, and, reach out to Amy and find out about this beautiful journey that she can support you on, a 4-week journey. And with that, I think we're kind of complete. So I'm just going to drop you down to the green room, and thank you so much for coming on our show again today.
Thanks for having me, Sally.
I'll see you soon. Bye. So you can join me for another episode of Finding Your Way with Sally Estlin next Wednesday at 3 p.m. Pacific Time, 5 p.m. Central Time, and Thursday Australian Eastern Standard Time at 8 a.m. So with just remember to rest. Rest is so important for every cell in your body, for your mind, your body, and your soul. And with that, I'll leave you to it, and I'll see you all next week. Okie dokie. See you later. You can learn more about my services and products at sallyestlin.com. Make sure to join me every week for a new episode on the SWE Media Network YouTube channel and wherever you listen to podcasts.